abandoned, contaminated, and forgotten, or so we thought.
This is the place where the worst nuclear disaster in history started.
Even decades after the Chernobyl meltdown shook the world, its mysteries refuse to shut down. The most radioactive place on Earth holds something terrifying, but before we get to that, let's see how it all started. In April 1986, reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded in a huge blast that lit up the night sky. What started as a routine safety test quickly went south, causing a massive steam explosion that blew the reactor core wide open. Firefighters rushed in, completely unaware of the fatal radiation they were walking into. Helicopters flew low over the flaming reactor, dropping sand, boron, and lead to try and put out the fire. Many crew members didn't make it back, and a helicopter failed mid-air due to the intense radiation. In the days that followed, entire towns were caught in the fallout. Buses rolled in overnight, and more than 100,000 people were evacuated with barely enough time to gather belongings. Homes, schools, and memories were left behind in an instant. That's how the Chernobyl exclusion zone was born, a 30-kilometer barrier sealing off entire towns that are stuck in time. Pripyat, with its rusty Ferris wheel, empty schools, and forests where the trees have turned weird colors from radiation. But surprisingly, the zone isn't entirely gone. Deep within the shattered husk of Reactor 4, scientists found something that could be a ray of hope. Black streaks crawling across the reactor walls. Months of study revealed they weren't just surviving the radiation, they were feeding on it.
This is the place where the worst nuclear disaster in history started. My adrenaline's pumping right now. My Geiger counter is beeping. But at the same time, it's very chilling to think about the people who died as a result of the actions that were taken in here that night.
These melanin-rich fungi, such as Cladosporium sphaerospermum, were thriving where nothing else should. They grow toward radioactive hotspots, a behavior called radiotropism, almost as if drawn to an unseen signal. Their melanin acts like a biological converter, turning fatal gamma rays into usable chemical energy, a process eerily similar to photosynthesis. The implications are staggering. Now scientists think these fungi could one day be harnessed to clean contaminated zones, to shield astronauts from cosmic rays, or even to line the walls of off-world habitats. NASA has already tested them aboard the ISS, quietly exploring their potential. Before the exclusion zone was set up, there was another serious threat hanging around Reactor 4, one that could have led to an even bigger explosion. Under all that wreckage, a huge pool of water had formed beneath the molten reactor core. If the superheated corium made contact with that water, it would have caused a massive steam explosion that could have devastated Chernobyl and left a huge part of Europe unlivable. During those chaotic days, 3 guys stepped up. Engineer Alexei Ananenko, shift supervisor Valery Bespalov, and diver Boris Baranov. Dressed in rubber suits that didn't really protect them much, they plunged into the radioactive darkness with just flashlights and their knowledge of the plant's complex valve system. The water was so toxic that every movement meant risking their lives, and every second was one step closer to danger. They made it in time and stopped a disaster no one else was brave enough to tackle. Because the next discovery is about to raise the stakes even higher. Months after the fires were put out and the zone was sealed off, teams went deeper into the wreckage of the reactor, hoping to figure out what was really lurking down there. What they found looked more like something from another planet than just debris. In the dark rooms of Reactor 4, a black, lava-like substance had seeped through tunnels and hardened into weird shapes that reminded people of an elephant's foot. This corium stuff wasn't your average leftover. It was a molten mix of uranium, sand, and reactor materials that fused together in the chaos of the disaster. Just standing near it back in